Get question 29b, and 29b is a 12-mark question, and the question read, analyse the role of physical preparation in the prevention of sports injuries. So if we have a look at the syllabus, we can see that the syllabus dot point is quite clear. Physical preparation, the dot point reads pre-screening, skill and technique, physical fitness, warm-up, stretching and cool down. Analyse different sports in order to determine priority preventative strategies and how adequate preparation may prevent injuries. So the focus here is on each of those areas and how each of those areas can prevent injury occurring for the athlete. That's the dot point we're looking at here. Analysis is the key term, and one of the more difficult ones, but analysis requires us to identify the components and the relationship between them. So the components here we're talking about are the various elements of physical preparation and how they are able to promote prevention of sports injury, and draw out and relate the implications. So it's a higher order question, or key term I should say, that challenged most of us here. Thus it's a 12-mark question. The marking criteria, so the things that we were looking for in this response, to get a top band mark there, these are the things that you needed to do. Analyse a broad range of physical preparation strategies that can prevent sports injury. So you needed to look at a range of each of the components, and not just a single one or two, but you needed to have a range of them and discuss them and look at how they are able to prevent sports injury. You present your ideas in a logical and a cohesive manner, which is a common feature in each of these marking criteria, and again it illustrates with relevant examples. Sample things that you could have discussed and you should have discussed with each of the areas. So pre-screening, the first thing that you could have looked at is what is a pre-screen. So a pre-screen would be a test that would be done prior to the physical activity or the training or the competition, before the player actually starts with the competition. Through the pre-screen, the athlete would be identified for things like high blood pressure. It might be look at previous injuries. It might be conditions like asthma that are going to impact upon how the injuries or the conditions or the health of the athlete that they're about to take on through the sport that they're about to take on. The next area would be skill and technique. Again, looking at the skills and techniques that are specific to the sport that the athlete's going to take on, and if there are any problems or indicators that could lead to injury through poor technique. If that's the case, then the implications of things that you're going to draw out are obviously putting players and athletes in a position to practice drills in a way that not only improves their performance but also is done in a safe way. A good example that some boys used was again the collision sports were tackling in rugby league, rugby union. With that example, you would teach the player how to tackle in a manner that would be safe. The physical fitness is the next area that you would need to discuss, and again looking at some things like different components of fitness. So some students spoke about cardiovascular fitness. Some students spoke about muscular strength. You could have picked any of the components of fitness and related that fitness particular to the sport and how that is going to prevent injury. The example that you can see here is the neck strengthening program in rugby union or rugby league for a rugby union prop, where that would assist in when they carry out scrummaging not to be injured. The warm-up, stretching and cool down, another element of physical preparation. and most boys were able to give a good account of how the warm-up can assist with prevention of injuries, and related the stretching and the cool down again into that component. So that was done quite well. If we have a look at a sample answer, the answer again shows an introduction and talks about how the athlete needs to be ready for physical activity. Each of the areas is discussed. You can see the use of the highlighter. They're talking about specific conditions, asthma, pre-screening, gives the staff indications of what the previous injuries may have been. They talk about physical fitness, total body conditioning, so as to be able to get through the game without fatigue. So a range of examples there. Skills and technique, connection of the skills and technique to injury, and again how that could be avoided. The warm-up, stretching, cool down, these procedures discussed, and again examples of how the physical preparation in that particular area can prevent injury. Similarly, there's with this answer, good use of examples. It's clear, it's well written, and it's neat, and it's a well constructed response.